If I can find it. Hold on. What is up, everybody? We are back. I know it's been 2 weeks hiatus, and I like to bring back for another king that they call Steph Curry Jr. He's an impersonator. He should be arrested. But here's my guy. And then we got Melissa Revel in the building. You know what's up?
Heck yeah, what's up, you guys? Hope you guys are doing good.
Yeah, what's going on, man? I guess we're shorthanded for this week, but we'll be good next week. But man, a lot of short Niners news. I know there's a lot of this critique talk, right? This Niners critique with Trey Lance. This stuff doesn't die until the season starts. I mean, what's on your guys' mind about Trey Lance, man?
Man, honestly, I'm just tired of hearing about like he has arm fatigue. I mean, it might be true. Maybe they're exaggerating a little bit. Maybe he's just not used to throwing. Hasn't threw since 2019. You know, these were like a couple seasons. And last season he barely played. You know, he played what 2 games, and one of those games Shanahan kept running him. So, you know, he really only had one game of throwing a lot. So, yeah, man, Trey Lance, like I believe in him. He's gonna be the guy. You know, rumors every day. You know, wrong rumors of start mess, and you know, just to mess with the team. But we're not gonna let that bother us, though. You know, we're gonna keep on keeping on, and you know, everybody's gonna gel together, and it's gonna be on and cracking. And Lance is gonna take command of the offense because you know this offense is similar to the one he had in college. So he gonna do way better than a lot of these critics are saying.
Yeah, what do you think of it, Melissa?
Honestly, I think it's a bunch of bull. I think that the Colin Cowards and the like are still very bitter about not having Mac Jones at 3, and I think that they want clickbait, and they know that the faithful will watch any bad take, and it will become a
So 49ers report.
online like extravaganza where everyone's retweeting and commenting and talking, and it's clickbait season. So I think they already have an agenda against the Niners. They already have an agenda against Trey, and they're just milking it for all that it's worth.
Yeah, just like everybody's wondering what this scout is saying. I already had some questions with him like the other week, and he already admitted that he never seen him practice lately. So I said, dude, your shit is irrelevant. No disrespect. And I guess he took it as a respectful way, the way I told him.
And I also think that a lot of this has to do with Rich Scangarello, and I think he's very bitter about how we got rid of him for a second time, and I think he's this inside source that everyone keeps talking about, because there were 2 reports from 2 different people after the Mike Silver and Colin Cowherd podcast, and they said flat out that this was the most ridiculous thing that they ever heard for this offseason. So take it what you will, but I personally think it's just mudslinging, and it's really pathetic mudslinging at that.
Rich Scangarello. Like, I don't get it. Like, isn't he like kind of like left for a college job and he's that bitter? That's what's been said. Is he kind of just throwing in the headlines so the media can make up something?
Well, they're saying that he didn't want Trey Lance, that he wanted someone more like Jimmy, and they're saying that he doesn't like that he's kind of getting a bad rap for Jimmy being so inconsistent, and the way that things ended with him was not amicable. So I don't know if he's the source. I'm just saying, for me personally, that makes the most sense of somebody that would talk, because granted, all the issues that we have up front in our organization, leaking isn't one of them. So if there is some kind of credible source for them to talk to, it has to be someone who has better ties to the Niners that aren't part of the team anymore.
Oh, so yeah, the quarterback coach was in our organization. This guy was our quarterback coach. He's saying this is what's true. Oh, you know what? Let's write it down. hey, Coordinator King, let's write this down. This is what's been going on in the locker room, right? Let's just write it down. That's what he's been saying.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But let's write it down, man. This is what we're hearing. This is from the coach that just got fired, right, or just left. Oh, let's write it down your hairline. I'm just right.
I'm just playing. The reception, the reception like messed up and stuff. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good, man.
It's fine.
Nah, but let's believe what the quarterback coach said. Oh, because he isn't with our organization no more, right? Let's believe that. Okay, let's write it down. All right. Hey, what'd you say, Rich? This is what said? All right. Oh, coward. You said this? Was it because your daughter was dumped by Trey Lance? Come on. Sit down.
That's so funny that he went. He did like a 180 absolutely on Trey as soon as the thing became knowledge.
At first, he was praising about, this is a guy you can build your quarterback around.
It completely flopped the second that there was a rumor that they broke up. It's like, you know what? You can say what you will. You can say that these guys are like Stephen A, where they're just like fed a bunch of information because they cover so many sports or whatever, but they're just something vindictively vendetta against this quarterback, and I do not get it. And the funniest thing is these people have the shells, and then they have like the backup guys come in because they're on vacation sometimes, and these people are swearing that Zach Wilson showed his best games towards the end of the year, and one of the games they always pick out is the Jets game, right? The Jets game versus the Houston Texans. But then in the same breath, in the same segment, in the same show, Trey Lance's win against the Houston Texans is dismissed because the Houston Texans are awful. It's like, so why is it for the quarterback you want to see do well that got 2 first-rounders this year, you use that as an excuse for him doing better, for evolving, for getting better the longer the season went. But for someone who had his second start of the whole season, you're gonna dismiss his win because it just fits your narrative. It makes 0 sense.
Yeah, it does. Like, this was the same criticism that was said about when Jimmy G actually beat the Jacksonville Jaguars when they were at their full best. Remember how the media was ignoring that? Remember how they kept making excuses? The same thing with Trey Lance. They're saying that the Texan team was all trash, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I don't like about okay, my bad.
Yeah, it's always a bad excuses, man. Always trying to undercut somebody, man. When Garoppolo, he shredded that Jaguars defense, but and that defense had stars on it, man. They had about 8 or 9 Pro Bowl quality players, man. It was crazy, that defense. And Trey Lance, he's gonna shred all these defense. I can't wait till he shreds the Rams defense. That's the defense we need him to shred, man, because that's our biggest rival. That's the ops right there. We gotta turn it back into the lamb chop, man. We beat them 6 in a row, and we damn near should have beat them 7. There's reasons why. We're not gonna get into that, but like I said, man, he's gonna be the guy, and they just trying to get into his head. But he's a bright young man, so he's gonna just he's gonna get that dirt off his shoulders, like Jay-Z said, get that dirt off your shoulders, get all them haters off. So with touchdowns, he's gonna prove everybody wrong.
Oh, what makes Trey so intriguing for entering this league as a starter this time around is there's not much film. What are you going to prepare for? You only saw 2.5 games in his 17 career starts in college. You're only going to get maybe about some preseason games here and there, but that's not enough to prepare for. You don't even know if he's going to run. You don't know if he's going to throw the deep ball. What are you going to expect? You're just going to guess yourself.
Yep, plenty of he can. I think he's gonna be able to read a defense far more better than like a Kaepernick or any of the recent quarterbacks, man. Because I think he just that explosive. We ain't never had a talent with like Josh Allen type of Herbert talent. Like he got that, man. He got size. He's gonna take hits. He's gonna be ready. And I'm just excited because he got weapons. Like him and IU gonna build that great rapport. And I'm ready.
The great thing about that is, though, that he stayed an extra week after practices were canceled. Like, the work ethic is there. So all this stuff about fatigue and not being committed or doesn't know the book yet, and you have to keep Jimmy, it's just so beyond pathetic that you see it obviously being reported by the Adam Schefters, who I have no respect for, saying these things, and yet in the same breath you say that he doesn't try hard enough or he doesn't care enough. Like, it's obvious that he cares.
I think what the media is trying to do, because it's not really ruffling on Trey at all. Trey doesn't really care what the media says, because usually the media would eventually stop, but I think they're trying to push on Trey now. They're saying, can this really piss him off now? Can we make up this story and say this? Can he say something about it? Trey's kind of calm and collectively. He's like saying, it's not my concern, it's not my problem. I just don't care what y'all think. I'm just here.
I think they really are going to miss Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, if there's anyone besides the Jimmy Sexuals that are going to miss Jimmy Garoppolo as our starting quarterback, it's going to be the national media.
The smile, the smile, I want to punch in the teeth so bad. It's just anytime that guy smiles, I just want to knock it down.
Yo, I love National Tight Ends Day, and I love George Kittle, but that has to be like one of the worst parts of rewatching anything for that Patriots win, because Jimmy Garoppolo had those egregious interceptions, and he would just, the camera would pan right to his face because there's no fans in the stands, and he had that damn grin from ear to ear, and I just want to like bitch slap him from Boston all the way back to the Bay Area, because I'm like, dude, for real, they sack Cam Newton, and you're still laughing every time you screw up. Like, I'm just so done with that dude.
Yeah.
The thing with Jimmy is, like, if some of his ex-teammates from the Patriots are criticizing the way he is as a teammate, then that tells you how much you need to know about this guy. Michael Bennett called him, you know what? Then you got Julian Edelman putting him under the bus, and this guy says it in a respectful way.
I don't know about that, because he's like, real players play hurt, and then he named like every single injury he's played with, the cracked ribs, the this, the that, and everything else, and then he talks about how Jacoby Brissett played with damage on his actual throwing hand and still sucked it up because the Patriots needed somebody to come in. Like, he didn't pull any kind of diva antics and everything else. And, you know, I think it's been the long-standing story for Jimmy that he always looks out for himself. He doesn't text back players. He doesn't work with players in the offseason. He doesn't try to improve the team very much. He doesn't hang out with anyone. He's here when he needs to be here, and then anything else is just never going to happen. And I think he's still trying to live down that whole thing where the last few weeks when we were in Arizona after we got kicked out of Santa Clara, that he'd be in that box up there, and they'd always say how we have like $85 million on the bench, and George Kittle came back, and they kept saying, oh, Jimmy's playing in practice, and then he wouldn't come in to play the games. And I think he's trying to like live down what happened, and I don't think it's ever going to happen. Like, that's going to be something that's always going to be tied to him.
True. What were you going to say, Antonio?
Oh man, my reception, bro.
Oh man,
I hear wind chimes.
Okay, can you hear me though? Clear?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay. Yeah, man. Like, you know, it's always rumors, but like I said, man, this team has a lot of veterans, and you know, like Trent Williams, leader, George Kittle, leader. You know, they kind of know how to quiet the noise of the media. Like, they don't let it distract them. So, you know, not to mention the Jason Verrett, Emmanuel Mosley's. And we got a lot of vets on this team. So, like Trey, they're gonna all calm Trey Lance down. And Jerry Rice, he spoke pretty good of him through the media this week. So, you know, every time the GOAT speaks highly of you, you know, it's always a good thing. So, I like when the Rices and the Steve Youngs, you know, speak up for the players and stuff, you know. So I just love that. So Rice, shout out to Rice, the GOAT, Steve Young, GOAT left-hander. And, you know, they got our back.
Yeah. Yeah, but what the media makes it seem like an issue. Like, why is it such a problem with him keeping in contact with Steve Young? Don't you want to pick up the knowledge? Do any other player of that was a rookie or a young quarterback, dude? If I had an opportunity to learn from the future, I mean, from the Hall of Famer himself, dude, I'll take it instantly in a heartbeat, bro. That they make it sound like it's a bad thing because he's behind or all this BS shit. While he's practicing, he's doing extra work. What else does this kid need to prove? And plus, why are you going to keep on poking this guy when he's not even fazed by it? It's more like you're wasting your energy on that guy.
Exactly, man. Like, don't keep poking the bear, man. Like, find something else better to do. I want them to start messing with the Rams, start making up stuff about them, you know? Like why they always gotta be our team, man? Like, I realize we are the golden standard. We're all the top-notch team. We're like the Yankees of the football, man. Like, we dominated 2 decades, you know, a bunch of Hall of Famers on both sides of the ball. So I guess they gotta, like, they see that red, you know, red shines bright. So, I mean, that's why they always gotta mess with us, I guess, man.
It's just funny that they're taking all these shots saying that we can't trade Jimmy within the division and stuff. And I just, wouldn't it be lovely if you could face Jimmy Garoppolo 2 times a year and just beat up on him?
Yeah.
Like,
Nick Bosa.
That's not
Derek Jackson.
That's not something to be scared of.
He would have taken it as vengeance.
What does he have to be vengeful about? He got paid like the highest paid person out of the 2017 season. He's the only reason why he lost that first year that was really like his big pay year, because he made that stupid juke move in Kansas City and got himself injured. Like, the team wasn't the reason why he got hurt. The team didn't put him in that position. He put himself in that position. The team insulated all his mistakes all over 2019. 2020, when he got injured, they kept trying to say, okay, well, Jimmy, you can sit, Mullins will take over, and then came in, and then he was injured again, and then they tried to get him back at the end of the year to give him, like, time to re-warm up and re-engage himself to the teammates and to the fans, and he said, no, I'm not going to play. And then you wonder why, even this year, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. He's saying that he's going to get a last-minute surgery right before free agency. It's like, at some point, you gotta cut ties. You gotta cut him. You gotta cut the D Fords. You gotta cut the guys that are just wasting roster spots.
Yeah, that's true, and I agree with that. But the thing with Jimmy is he goes more in and out than he goes with In-N-Out Burger. That's just facts. He keeps going in and out a lot like that place, man. But you know, here's why I think he would probably want to have vengeful with the Niners. You traded up to get a quarterback to replace me. Mm-hmm. And you made me play injured. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get me an off-season surgery just to screw you guys. Oh, trade me in the division. Fine. I'll make you pay. That's what Jimmy would feel like.
See, that's where I disagree. I think he pulled a Baker where he got so threatened by the guy behind him that he made himself play through injuries, and he just wanted to lash out at the team because how dare they actually bring in real competition for him?
He had to look behind his shoulder because he knew that this kid would maybe potentially take his job. But that's probably the only reason I would think he would want vengeful, because if he goes to the Seahawks, he's going to take it on the Niners.
But what is he going to do?
That's a scary thought. Like,
you got Javon Kinlaw, you got Arik Armstead, you got Nick Bosa, you got these guys that have waited for years to really nail Jimmy. You really telling me that these guys are going to have like any kind of like sentimental, oh, you got us to the Super Bowl in our rookie years. We're not going to hate you. They're going to come and they're going to hit him and they're going to enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, you know, they want to hit everybody, you know. I mean, I remember like Dwight Freeney, you know, he used to be like, man, he used to tell Peyton Manning because they were teammates. He was like, man, I wish I could hit you, man. I wish I could hit you. And that was his teammate. So, you know, like it just happens like that. But yeah, like Javon Kinlaw, he gotta get better. He gotta get in the game. He gotta stay in the game. And like Kinlaw can develop into something great. So yeah, Bosa would lick his chops to hit Jimmy G. You know, probably spear him or something.
I mean, Chandler Jones is the prime example. Chandler Jones was with him as a Patriot, and he salivated over that first meetup between the Cardinals and the Niners to go after Jimmy G. It's just, when you're not on the team anymore, you can still be friends off field, but when it's time to play, you're gonna go after them.
Oh yeah,
I just don't see it making sense for Seattle. Like, why would you want to get Jimmy G? You're gonna waste your chance on getting a top quarterback. So that's
the only thing that makes me think that Seattle would look at it is because they love going after old Niner players. Pete Carroll's on the hot seat, and both the quarterbacks they have currently cannot stay healthy, especially Drew Lock.
You kind of bring a good debate right there. Like, do you agree on this one, Antonio? Because when I look at it this way, yeah, Drew Lock can't stay healthy. Who wants to start on a quarterback who threw a touchdown in the fourth quarter and acts like he won the damn Super Bowl? Like, really, would I be that excited in Seattle? Hell no. This is why Seattle ain't gonna sell tickets. And I hate to say it to all these Seahawks fans, if they're around, you guys are not going to be anywhere good unless you guys get yourself some tickets selling. You had Baker Mayfield as your opportunity. Now he went to Carolina. You can say goodbye to those ticket sellings. Jimmy G, maybe some hope.
See,
Baker Mayfield's going to put some butts in the seats.
I think if John Snyder is smart, he's not going to do a goddamn thing. He's going to let Pete Carroll flame out, and then he's going to move on to the next coach, the next quarterback, and then rebuild it with him in charge, and then everything's clean slate for him. And he'll have the perfect scapegoat by saying it's all Pete Carroll's fault.
Well, Carroll's kind of been over welcome. He's been there too long. It's kind of like at a point where maybe it's time to move on because Russell Wilson, a lot of the pieces that he created in Seattle, they're all gone except
plus now even Bobby Wagner's now with a rival. Like, the last person in the Legion of Boom that had any kind of positive relationship with the Seahawks is not going to be playing the Seahawks twice a year. Like, Pete Carroll, I think, is one of those very underrated coaches that's on really thin ice right now.
Oh, yeah. Especially with Richard Sherman when he came to us, he wanted payback with Seattle. He wanted vengeance. And do you really think Bobby Wagner signed to the Rams for nothing? Hey, he wanted to play close to home, but he wanted to get some payback to the Seahawks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I thought we should sign Bobby Wagner, so that way he can get payback on the Seahawks, But yeah, man, like, I think Jimmy G would want to get payback on the Niners. I mean, he's more than capable of winning games, he's won it before. Pete Carroll, I just want to beat him, man, because Seahawks, they always been beating us. So, I mean, imagine if Jimmy G plays like Russell Wilson, all of a sudden. He's not going to be that athletic like that, but we'll just beating us, just making throws everywhere to DK Metcalf and all that, man. Because I could see him and DK Metcalf actually being a great tandem, hit them crossing routes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can hit that. So
yeah, but the thing is, they still don't have an offensive line, and Jimmy needs an offensive line.
Well, Seattle did address some of that spot a little bit, if I'm being honest. They did add some line. So it can't be that worse than they had last year, because last year it was a disaster. They just added some key pieces on their offensive line. They just drafted a tackle coming out of Mississippi State, I believe.
Can I ask you guys a question, though? Do you honestly think he's going to pull a Tannehill if he does end up being a quarterback somewhere else?
I hope
because
not.
I think he's going to be more like Flacco, where he's just going to bounce around and around and around and try to keep being a starter, but it's never going to happen again.
Oh, well, if he goes to Seattle, I hope you guys are right about this confidence. I just don't like this idea because when ex-Niners play within our division, they tend to take some payback on us, and I hate that feeling. Especially when you see a lot of our guys that leave and they want to play us twice a year. I do not like to see it happen in our division. But if Jimmy plays in our division, I just feel like there's something for him to play for. Like, hey.
Okay, so where would you think that would go with Jimmy? Like, the only other teams that are really desperate are the teams that have a quarterback or may have to be forced to have a quarterback because their own quarterbacks can't stay healthy. Like a New York Football Giants or maybe Atlanta or something else where these guys haven't played much or have serious injuries where it might crop up as an issue again.
Well, for Atlanta, this is what I've been hearing about the Falcons. They're very short on cap space. They gotta pay a lot of Matt Ryan's money, even though he's with the Colts. They're paying his remaining contract. They're fucked. They're fucked completely. Then you look at the Cleveland Browns. They really believe in Jacoby Brissett. So Jimmy ain't the guy. I guess they're cool with that. And Texans, they really believe in Davis Mills. I don't know.
I like Davis Mills personally.
I think he's got a ceiling to be solid. But then you look at another team like Seattle. I think Seattle just wants to tank. They don't even care about this season. They want to rebuild and get a new quarterback. They're looking to get that Bryce Young kid, the one from Alabama. That's what they really want.
I don't know. It's just for me, I think the Giants make a lot of sense because Daniel Jones is coming off that gruesome neck injury. You got Tyrod Taylor as his backup, and Tyrod Taylor cannot stay healthy even like 3 games in a row. I think it's going to be like a team like that, like the football team or some other team where they're in a really crappy division. They're going to wait for him to be cut, and then they're going to pick him up just to have another guy just as insurance.
Oh, this is why I agree with you on this one, Melissa. Like, I don't see no trade value with Jimmy.
No.
Like, the sooner he got surgery, forget about the value. That went way down the roof. It could have went from maybe a 3rd or 4th round pick value. Now it's all the way to, nope, we'll wait till he gets cut. As soon as he gets cut, you're going to see some teams that you didn't expect to get him. And it's going to be backup job for him.
That's the thing that drives me crazy because everyone's like, oh, well, you should keep him right before the 53 cut because you only have to pay him after if he makes the official 53. You should hold him until the trade deadline because then maybe some person gets hurt the first month of the season. It's like, this team needs a break. This team needs the toxicity to end. They need to move on. They need to close the chapter and open up a new book and just get past Jimmy. It's like, all these people keep saying you have to keep him, you have to keep him, you have to get something back. We're not like the Browns. We didn't have 18.9 on the books no matter what we did. We can get out of this, like with what? If he passes the physical under $3 million, like there's no reason that you should even risk playing chicken with these teams. Like we risked chicken with Dante Pettis and the Jalen Hurts. We kept holding on to these guys. Like, this team should stop playing chicken and just say, okay, we tried holding on to him. Nobody wanted to trade for him. Let's just move on.
That's how I feel about it. Like, the Niners really think this is what the Niners try to do with these trade values with these players. Like, it kind of reminds me more of that, that one car dealership place where they kind of sell you those crappy cars and they say, oh, that car works just great. But as soon as you get suckered in, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell you a lemon car. They're trying to sucker you in to make that deal. That's what it sounds like. The Niners are trying to do that, sell you a lemon car. Because they know Jimmy G's broken down. They say, oh, he runs great. He's going to do well. Take a chance. That's what they're trying. It's not working. Nobody's fooled. This is like selling a lemon car.
Yo, can we talk about Trent Williams? Because that really was like the coolest thing ever. When
99? Yeah. 99 overall. First ever offensive lineman to ever do that. That's impressive. And like, who can claim that spot? No other great offensive lineman has ever had that in Madden, the 99 overall. Let me know what you guys think of that one since Melissa wanted to discuss it. Like, it's impressive.
Yeah, like, I mean, that guy is so big and strong, athletic. We've never seen that. The mountain of a man. He has like Joe Staley athleticism with like, I don't know.
The Mark Henry strength.
Yeah, man. Incredible whole size, man. Just coming in. Linebackers are scared. D linemen are scared. With
You're breaking up.
Guess he's having reception issues, but it's all good. He'll probably come in and out. But
did you watch the Silverback documentary on Amazon?
I've seen some of it where he kind of like talks about his journey where when he came with the Washington, they did him wrong. Then eventually he started doing some other interviews with a lot of those other NFL players like Brandon Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good shows of him. But, yeah, he's like the highest paid offensive lineman in football.
He deserves it.
And he's done it at the highest level, too. And most players who take a year off of football, it's their worst nightmare. Like, it's not your...
I mean, we all know what 2020 became, but come on. When you saw that first game, as bad as it was when it was like orange skies because the fires in Santa Clara area, and you had Trent Williams rolling guys over, like completely like smacking them down onto the ground. And you remember that one clip where he pancaked the guy so hard that it like went viral like an earthquake? It's just like, you couldn't have started off the season more excited just for Trent Williams. Like, we're all sad that Joe finally retired, and we were like, well, what is Trent Williams really going to be like, especially after coming off of his big health crisis, and nobody knew. I mean, we had the reports about him and Bosa, but they were just like mostly photos and stuff and interviews. So it's just like amazing, all the things that he went through, all the ways that he handled it. Like, he could have gotten really angry and he could have used the media, and he handled it really classy, and he put his foot down. He's like, I'm not going to be treated to benefit you. I'm going to go somewhere where I believe I can do well and I can succeed and get success. I mean, this past season, that was like his first playoff win. This is like a huge thing for him. And it's just like, I will always love Joe Staley. Joe Staley is like the reason why I got through the Tomasula and Chip Kelly in the hard years. Like, but Trent Williams is like that next guy right under Joe Staley for me.
Oh, yeah. Like, watching Joe Staley during the hard times, he was just very athletic. But the thing that I liked about Trent Williams was this guy came from battling tumor or whatever he had at the time. And
Cancer.
He took some time. He took a year off, and usually when you take a year off, it's your worst enemy. And we made the crate.
He
like,
was
how do you
smart about that though. He reported for that first week. He tried to put on the helmet, and he still had the stuff and the scarring and stuff. He couldn't get the helmet on, and he tried for a week, and then he didn't have to wait for the. So if he hadn't done that, they could have held him and said that the year didn't count.
Yeah. But when you look at that, like, we go from Joe Staley to Trent Williams just like that. like, how do you go from that and you only give up a 3rd and a 5th round pick for this guy?
That's insane.
You go from a Hall of Famer to another Hall of Famer.
Right there.
Yes.
Yeah. A younger, quicker, faster, stronger version.
Yep.
Yeah, but how do you go from a Hall of Famer into another one? Like, it doesn't happen like that.
We got lucky with that one.
A 3rd and a 5th round pick. That's a step. But he makes the 99 overall. That's just an amazing accomplishment. I still think he's got a couple of good years in him, but I think he wants to get his
coolest part was Adrian Peterson that went and made that viral. Like, Adrian Peterson was hanging out with him and just decided to film it. Like, that is really cool that, like, an old teammate does stuff like that for you.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson was a good teammate from Oklahoma. Yeah, he paved the way for a lot of good players.
Trent Williams, a big beefy dude, man. Like, I can't believe a guy that big is that fast. Like, man, I never seen anything like it. I imagine in practices, him versus Nick Bosa must be like a tiger and a lion, you know.
This is what I think of Trent Williams. He's got that speed for his size, and he's got that Mark Henry nasty mentality. Like, he's gonna put you in the Hall of Pain.
You guys remember?
Man, imagine getting laid out.
You remember in the Packer game where he took out not only 2 defenders for the Packers, but he also took out George Kittle in the same play.
Oh wow! Yeah. There was a couple of plays where he did take 2 players at once, and I was like, how did he do that? Like it's like you don't know how he does it. Like there's
It's
some
like a
plays.
domino effect. He like blocked the one guy into the other guy, and then that guy blocked right into George.
Like this guy masters it. Like it's he just gets wiser at this point in his career. Like how do you get better with age?
I know a
And
lot
he's
of
still
people
good?
thought it was weird, but I really wanted him to get a touchdown. Like Joe Staley had a touchdown, and that was like on a fumble. I really want like for big man balling and all those like weird stuff on ESPN and everything else to have a Trent Williams go in motion and for the snap not to be penalized and for him to get a touchdown.
Oh, what would be kind of cool for Trent Williams is if he does get a touchdown pass catch and then he does a spike on it or whatever he does. The great John Madden would have something to say. He loves Lyman's dance. Their celebration. They're dancing. I don't know. You ever seen that replacement movie where John Madden says that about this is why I like Lyman. They spike and they do their funny dance and they do.
Well, that was the thing I liked about that's the one I liked about with Trey Lance in the Packer game. He gave the ball to Trent Williams right away, and he just did the big Gronk spike. And I think that's cool that that's kind of been like a thing with our offense, like the last 3 years. Whenever someone on offense gets a touchdown, that they always hand off the ball to our offensive line to do the big spikes.
Yeah. That's going to be the only question mark for this team is our interior line. I feel like the center and the guard position would probably determine how good we can be because I feel like that's a concerning factor. Like our center position, Alex Mack retiring kind of gives us a question mark. Aaron Banks, I don't know. Are we giving this kid the job or are we going to let this kid earn it?
I don't know. The weird part was that Jalen Moore got more snaps last year, and yet everyone keeps saying like now he might not even be a backup lineman, or he might be the swing tackle. Like, I want to know why the hell Jalen Moore is now like lower than Aaron Banks.
That's a tricky one because he was doing pretty well. Like even there were some games he did play like against the Colts. That's where he started. He did pretty solid, and I don't know what happened ever since. Then you see guys like Colton McKivitz, who we just cut it before, and he was on our practice squad, and he got to play over him. Seriously?
Well, even Trent Williams said that Colton McKivitz should have played in the playoffs for him because he was playing on one leg. But it's just like, I'm still bitter about Aaron Banks because I really wanted it to be Creed Humphrey. So for me personally, I don't like that he was mostly picked because he went to the same school as Mike McGlinchey. That really irritated me.
Well,
and I don't like Slim Mike at all. And that's the other concern. Like everyone keeps saying it's the interior offensive line, but do we really know that Mike McGlinchey is going to be healthy?
We don't even know it.
And with him, ever since he went vegan, like he's had health issues with his weight. And I mean, we all remember when DBs were putting him on his back. Like, if he comes back, what kind of shape is he going to be in? Like, Trent is like the only part of that line. Like, I know that there are some guys, and I really can't wait to see these guys train up with Trey and be used to Trey's habits and not like have to break out of all their Jimmy habits. But it's concerning. Like, you really don't know. And I don't want another Tom Compton or some other kind of like old guy left on this line who's going to cause a lot of issues just because he has a past with Kyle or because he's older. Like, I want it to be the right 5 guys this time, Yeah,
and I think the way you're saying it can go down by favorites. And since you're bringing up about how McGlinchey, the connection, yes, it does have a lot to do with the connection. If I was mistaken, McGlinchey did convince the coaching staff to draft Aaron Banks. I don't know if that's true, but
he was in the war room day of when Aaron Banks was picked, and he was talking up his old teammate. And like I said, for me personally, I really love Creed Humphrey, and that really pissed me off because Creed Humphrey is one of those really weird hybrids that can do center or either side of guard. And for this team who likes people who do multiple things and no one can stay healthy for some reason on these lines, I thought that was like the big selling point, and everyone was like all in love with Asante Samuel. Like they still to this day they're like, we could have had Asante Samuel Jr. And I'm like,
I wanted Asante Samuel Jr.
like exactly. So like for me, you need an inner offense line. Like so, I hope this year personally is the last year that we pick a defensive lineman and we start getting other positions with our first overall pick. But
we'll see how it goes.
What it is.
But
Yeah,
if you look at,
we should draft a center in the first round or our second round pick.
we need a center. We do need a center, and that's just going to be a problem right there. But then we got some undrafted
because Kyle always says that that's the linchpin of his offense, right? Like he keeps saying that the center is the most important position.
Yep.
But he has never.
But
he keeps saying like that's the most important position, and yet this entire time he's never invested in it. He's never had a guy for 16 games. He's never had one center for the year. He's never even thought about picking someone, and he has Kyle Juszczyk of all freaking people calling out the different protections and changes to the offensive plays. Like, you can't keep saying that the center position you value if you never value it.
Hey, Moses, I sent you the link. I don't know if I guess he's busy for today, but it's good to see him. But, the offensive lineman, Shanahan says it's the most important position is center, but why did we not address? Why were we waiting on Alex Mack? Never understood that part. You got to think ahead of the game, but maybe Shanahan might have dodged a bullet. Maybe. Donovan West, maybe this guy makes the team and does something. Jake Brendel, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like his film that much. Like, it didn't really impress me, Donovan West, but they say he can get better, man. I mean, I know he has to gain weight and stuff. He got to gain some strength. He is pretty quick, and then he's short, so he's low to the ground, so that'll help as a center. He's like 6'2", so.
Then you got Jason Poole. A smaller athletic guy. He's just like a smaller version of Trent Williams, just athletic and a beast. Like, I think he's
fullback.
No,
like a catching fullback. No, a receiving fullback.
Man, dude. I had this thing unexpected, dude. I thought I was going to have a lot of people in, bro, and it just happens out of the blue. Maybe next time, dude. It was unexpected. I thought Dion was going to come. I thought a few people were going to come, dude. Sometimes I don't even see it coming.
Like, I wouldn't mind Jason Poole being used also as an offensive weapon, personally.
Maybe in the red zone.
But
like a goal line back and a receiver
if
back.
we were ever to finally move on from Kyle Juszczyk, which I am like crossing my fingers for the day that happens, can we finally give the position to Josh Hockett and stop using Ross Dwelly and all these other people for fullback? Like it baffles me. Like, we keep using Kyle Juszczyk as a blocking threat. Like, we're not really using him as an offensive weapon, or worse, we're trying to use him as short yardage running back, which is not his strength at all. It drives me crazy that everyone is trying to replace the fullback whenever Juice cannot do it physically with anyone but the guy that we've had on our practice squad for like the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, it's kind of been like, I don't get it. Like, Juszczyk is a good receiving back.
And Ross Dwelly can't even block. That's
but
the
he
crazy
can catch.
part.
But he can catch. That's the only.
I mean, he's Ross the boss out there sometimes.
Hey guys, let's sing a happy birthday to Moses, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to OG Moses. Happy birthday to, or maybe I should do it like Rombo. Happy Niner birthday to you.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Nah, but we'll see him next week. But hey, maybe I'll stack in a little bit with Roberto since we are short staff. I'll definitely add him on to the roster. He's been pushing in for that spot, man, and it's kind of been shorthanded with everybody.
So
but
I know
Dion's gonna be back. But
who do you guys want to see make it for the defensive line? Because that's far more interesting.
Ooh, defensive lineman. That's a tough one. Like, you're putting me in a tough spot, but. Okay, you go first, and then
I want Ibukam to be the backup, along with
Mhm.
what's his name, Charles Anuhe. I never can say his last name.
Amenahu.
He has a lot of talent.
Amenahu.
Yeah, Amenahu, and then of course Bosa and Drake the Snake as the other edge rusher. That's 4 guys right there, and then in the middle, Kinlaw Armstead's the obvious one. So, like I said, man, we deep, and we're gonna keep everybody fresh. I know we lost DJ Jones, but he'll be replaced. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the D line. I love the D line. Love the depth. Rotate in and out.
What singing lessons, David? What singing lessons, David? I'm just being sarcastic. All right, man. But yeah. Okay, if I had a list of people I want to stay on the roster, I like what I see out of what's his name that we just signed from the. Kamoko Turi. Like I've heard a lot of good things about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's standing out. Like he's getting off quick off the get off. It's just his durability has been the problem. But Drake Jackson, I guess he's starting to stand out a little bit. But Amena, who's been training, been busting that. But Ebukam, I don't know. It's like I hear good things about him, but he seems like a quiet impact player. I want him to step up. That's just the way I look at it. But then Kerry Hyder, we'll see.
Yeah, you got a lot of talent though. Kerry Hyder.
But okay, if I had to pick 4 guys to make the team, in my opinion, it's easily Bosa. Ebukam I can put in because he's quick and you need athletic at that position. Let's see, Turi I like, and then Drake Jackson. That's what I like. Those are my good lineups right there.
I don't know. I'm so scared who's gonna get cut and who's gonna stay. And everyone keeps saying that we should keep Maurice Hurst, and this guy has not stayed healthy at all. And if it costs us someone like Kevin Givens or Kerry Hyder or Charles Menhu or some of these guys that have really produced for the team in the past, it's just like I said, I hate dead weight players, and we still have D Ford and we still have Jimmy. I don't want Maurice Hurst to be the new guy that's another bum with the 53.
I think it's just we'll see. Maybe it's just better situation for him, but I don't know. Like he's been injury, having health issues, but I like his upside. But like you said, it could hurt us with saving a roster spot with somebody. But on the bright side, Kevin Atkins might just make the team as a reserver unless they stash him on injured reserve.
Yeah, like it though.
That Fresno State dude, that dude's a beast.
Have you guys heard anything about Ridgeway? Because some people are talking him up and some people haven't been talking him up, and I don't know which side of the fence I believe in.
I'm hearing good things about him. John Chapman's talking good things about him, saying that he's a good run stopper from what I'm looking at. A lot of Eagle fans have told me that he's a really good player, but I've only heard a little bit of certain D tackles. Only just Kinlaw been working out and all that viral stuff. That's all I've been hearing. But as far as the defensive lineman, Eric Armstead's kind of looked okay. Like you said, there's not much talk about like Chris Givens.
Kevin Givens.
Yeah, our D tackle, yeah. He's kind of been the guy that everybody talks about as an underrated guy on our rotation. And then we just drafted a kid from Central Florida, Khalil Davis. But he's going to be – I think he's going to be stashed on injured reserve and not even play this year. We're probably going to play him as a red shirt. And then you got Kevin Atkins, who can easily maybe make the team, but we can probably stash him for next year. But Maurice Hurst, I'm hearing nothing much about him right now. So he's probably either I'm hearing that he's working out, but I don't see much about him.
I don't know. I feel like you got the Sosas that maybe could stay and maybe be effective, or that they could be used as like a trade partner to get another 5th or 6th or 4th round pick. Like those are our stronger Browns usually. So I think both lines are going to be very interesting. The way that they're made and the way they cut and they try to sneak guys onto the practice squad.
You know, we got to watch on what players we cut because you see Seattle takes them.
Yo, I don't think I ever saw the Niners as pissed as when they try to sneak Reed on the injured list after they cut him, and Seattle just snatched him up right away.
Yeah.
Now he's a Jet.
Ooh, man, yes. Yes, Seattle always be trying to snatch up our players all the time. They all try to get the inside scoop.
And now he's back with Saleh, so that should be interesting that he's with Saleh again.
Yeah, man. Like, what kind of teaching lessons y'all need to give me, man? I was just going along with it. I don't have to be a great singer. You guys cracked me up. But in all seriously, we got to say happy birthday to the OG Moses, you know? So, we'll see you next week. But, hey, everything's going well. Hopefully OG has a good day because it's his birthday.
So if you guys had to pick a linebacker to keep, who would it be? Greenlaw or Aziz?
For the backup, for like the other linebacker?
Yeah.
Okay, so not Warner. Okay, so
well, Fred's not going anywhere. Like let's be honest. All-Pro Fred might have had an up and down year last year because he was trying to do too much, but we all know Fred Warner's staying. So I mean, they're both 1-year deals right now. They both came in the same year. They both came in 2019. They're both up for free agency next year. So they both had their issues with injuries. I mean, Aziz is more like later in the year last year, but you had to pick a guy that you would like to see long term. Who would it be?
I know what I'm getting with. I know when Dre Greenlaw is healthy, I get consistency with him. Mm-hmm. But Al-Shaair just makes the tackles. He's consistently on the line of scrimmage. And he gets better. So I'm like,
so you think that Aziz will keep having a big year like last year? You think that it's not a 1 year thing, that he's going to keep building on what he did already?
I think he's like one of those players that keeps ascending and keeps getting better. And Dre Greenlaw, for whatever reason, I feel like his value can be good for a trade value for any other team. But I do like Dre Greenlaw for his ability to make plays. But like you said, he can't stay healthy. But Al-Shaair, when he gets his opportunities, this guy falls out. So I like what I see out of Al-Shaair. The guy has a passion for the game, and he makes the tackles. So he's very physical too. That's what I like about him. Very physical linebacker in between the tackles and all that stuff. He makes the plays and sideline to sideline. This kid gets better. But with Dre Greenlaw, when plays come into play, you might want to have him. But I have to go with Al-Shaair for the long term because he might not cost much.
I think Aziz is going to ask for a big payday, personally. So who would you want to keep?
Wait. Hold on, my reception.
Well, big play Dre would be obvious.
51 or 57. Who would you want to keep long term?
Oh, he keeps going in and out. But I'm going Al-Shaair because I like his upside.
I'm sorry. I know everyone loves him, and I know this is gonna get me a lot of heat, but I adore Dre Greenlaw. I want him to stay so bad.
I mean, I'm rooting for him. I'm really rooting for him.
He was a consistent player all over 2020. He was like one of my favorite rookies from the 2019 class. Like, I know he gets a little kind of like a Jamar Taylor and Tavarius Moore, where he kind of gets like so excited, like he can kind of screw up the easy plays because he's kind of go for the big plays sometimes. And you know, Fred's called it out. He's admitted to it. Like, but there's just something special about Greenlaw that I really don't want to lose.
Well, the thing that I like about Dre Greenlaw was the heart and the way he came a long ways. This guy was adopted. This guy was coming from a tough time. This guy wasn't supposed to be where he's at, and this guy has actually made the most out of it. But
and you know what? For all his mistakes and everything else that you want to criticize, he is the one person who dug in deep, learned from the Falcons game in the Julio Jones touchdown, and he
got
said
better.
There was no way when this situation popped up again, because he remembered that they also had done that play with Hollister, the Seahawks, against the Buccaneers in overtime, that he was going to allow it to happen again, and he dug himself in there right on the line, and he made sure that there was no way Hollister was getting past him. Like, that's special instinctive stuff. That's grit that's bringing all your everything to it. And for me, I really love Greenlaw. Like, it'd be nice if you could keep all three. I don't think that's possible because you have to pay Debo, you have to pay Bosa, you have to pay so many guys are on 1 year tags this year. I think it's even more than the previous years. It's just, I don't think it's possible to keep all three, but if I had to choose one for myself, it'd be Greenlaw.
Well, I can see where you're coming from, and I do like Dre Greenlaw. It's just financially, I think.
Like, I know where you're coming from. Like, Aziz had a really special year. Debo had a really special year. But that's the thing. Like, you don't really know, like, with these guys when they have these big breakout years, if they're gonna be able to do it again. If they do, you really don't know. Because I think Aziz was an undrafted free agent. He wasn't even drafted in the 2019 draft. I think he was an undrafted free agent.
Yeah, so from Florida Atlantic.
These guys who have been busting it as an undrafted free agent, not making very much money and paying California taxes, I really think that they would want to try to take all that they could for their next contract. Like, so
I mean, I know where you're coming from with the Alshire. Like, yeah, he did have one spectacular great year, but when you look at long term, he's not going to probably cost as much as Drake Greenlaw. Greenlaw's going to expect a little bit more, unless I'm proven wrong. If I had to choose by what I want Drake Greenlaw. Game on the line. When the game's on the line and he's clutch, Drake Greenlaw makes the tackles. He makes the plays. He's in a good place at the right time. It's just, I guess I'm thinking financially with Alshire. I like Alshire, but in my perspective,
I'm not trying to like convince you not to love him. I'm just like, say for me personally, that's how I feel. Like, everyone keeps telling me, no, big play Drake, get rid of him, use him as a trade piece, and like.
I like Drake Greenlaw. So are you saying we should trade Alshire then? I'm all in for Drake Greenlaw. It's just when it comes down to it, man, this guy makes the plays.
I think this year's going to be a bounce back year for a lot of players. So I think this year it's going to be the year of Kinlaw. It's going to be the year of Greenlaw. I think it's going to be the year of Charlie Warner. I think all these guys that kind of have had a bad rep or injuries or kind of haven't had their breakout moments or had their shot yet, I think they're going to come back and they're going to be hungry this year. You know, I think the Jimmy G anchor that's been around a lot of our necks is finally going to be gone, and I think a lot of people are going to step up and really bring their A game this year, and I cannot wait for it.
Yeah, for sure. I guess Antonio's reception is so terrible, but let's call it a day. I know it's been going on long, and I know it's kind of been going good, but yeah, it's a good debate. I do agree with what you're saying, Drake Greenlaw. Like, it's a no-brainer. But I guess financially, I don't know. Maybe Drake Greenlaw's value ain't going to be as much as everybody thinks. So 57 for me now. You're selling me. You're selling me. You're selling me. That's her fault. Blame her.
Yo,
hey, I'm sold. I'm sold with Drake Greenlaw.
I still think that was one of the best ever interceptions I ever saw in that Seahawks game that ended up pissing everybody off. But, Hollister was owned by Greenlaw that year.
Sure, yeah, and then he owned Seattle. He had full ownership that year. And
both things were Hollister, the big block and the interception. So, and he's had really big plays against the Rams. Like, I forget, it was 2020, and I think it was at home. He had that big play to knock the guy out on the sideline, like in the red zone. There's just something special about the way he just like launches himself full body into a tackle.
The angle or something to do with the angle where he's at a good angle to prevent stuff. I think he's learned
something. It's like when DJ Jones got guys last year. Like, there's just something special about someone that big, that athletic, who finally had gotten himself correct with the health finally. Like, because DJ Jones had his issues with health his whole time here. And it's just like something really special about when it finally all clicked and he just took over and he was sacking all the big quarterbacks all over the NFC, the Dak Prescott's, the Aaron Rodgers, the this, the that. It's just like you can't help but root for guys like that.
Yeah, that's the truth. Drake Greenlaw is somebody I definitely like, but We'll see about it. But let's call it a day because I guess our guest has an issue. And plus, we've been going on for like almost an hour and it's been going on. I'm pretty sure next week we got something in store. And don't worry, Moses is going to come back. And I'm sorry that my birthday song sucks, okay? I suck at singing, okay? What kind of lesson do I need to learn?
I mean, not everyone could be breezy. So.
Or I can't be like Rombo. I can't sing like Rombo either. Happy birthday!
I've never seen that show ever, so I can't.
All right, let's call it. Yeah, we're already past the hour mark. It is a good time, so see y'all later. Me and Melissa is out of here, and see y'all later. Peace.